Hey guys, welcome to today's channel. Thank you so much for watching today's video, or welcome to my channel. Either or, you get the idea. Welcome. Today I'm going to be doing a monthly favorites. So this is what I do every month, and I'm just gonna tell you all of my favorite products that I discovered this month. So today I decided to do this a little bit differently. I filmed myself doing my makeup today using all of my favorite products from this month, and that way you guys can see them being applied, because not all of these products I try on camera, and yeah, so I thought that would be a lot more interesting for you guys and a lot more fun. So the first product that I really love since the day that I tried it for the first time, and that is the Jaclyn Cosmetics Luminous Powder. It's a Mood Light Luminous Powder. This one is in Doomy. It's the lightest shade, and I was really pleasantly surprised by this. I was very excited to try it, but as you know, somebody who has combination to oily skin, I didn't know if it was going to make me look really shiny by the end of the day, and so I was kind of, you know, nervous to see how that was going to work. But I love it. Some of you may have heard me say this before if you've watched my past videos, but if you're new here, I said I had combination to oily skin. I used to call myself oily skin, but now I'm feeling as I get older, my skin becomes a little bit more on the combination side. I don't really ever feel like I have really necessarily dry skin. I just suffer from a lot of dehydration. I really probably don't drink enough water. That I'm sure has something to do with it, and that's something I'm working on. But yeah, my skin just goes through like spells where it's like kind of gets shiny a lot, especially in, you know, as the weather gets warmer. I will get, you know, a little bit more of a shine with the humidity. But then, you know, sometimes matte foundations and really mattifying products will make me look like it looks awful. It looks really dry. So I have been loving this powder, especially when I use a more mattifying or even soft matte foundations and concealers. It just looks so nice, so smooth, and it can really, you know, revive a dull foundation. That being said, obviously if a foundation is too dry for your skin, I'm not saying this will be the solution, but if you have a foundation that looks nice most days, but then once in a while when your skin's a little dry, it doesn't look as smooth and flawless, this is a really nice setting powder that can kind of help you on the days you want to look a little more glowy or your skin's a little more dehydrated. I've definitely been getting more into that like glowy vibe. I don't know, as I said, I'm a little less oily than I used to be, and I just feel like it just looks so much more like flawless. If you have really severely oily skin and you get a really bad shine, this might not be the right one for you, because it does almost have a little bit of and I wouldn't say that it's like shimmery, like it doesn't have any sparkle to it, but it definitely is very brightening, and when you look really close, it kind of looks glowy without having shimmer and sparkle in it, which is why I love it as well. I know I've seen some reviews on Jaclyn Hill's new, you know, highlighter launches, and I think some people thought this was a highlight, which you can use it as a very subtle highlight. To me personally, I don't think it would be very effective at all as a highlight. It's that subtle, and that's why I think it's such a success as a setting powder for those of you that have dry skin, and even those of you that have, you know, combo to oily skin that don't mind a little bit of a glow, or that have dehydrated skin. I think this would be a really good one for you. And they have some other shades for different skin tones as well. Then we have the next product that I used today, and that is from the MAC launch. So from the MAC launch, I loved so many things from that launch. I was really happy with it, and one of the ones that really stood out to me was the eyeshadow palette. That being said, I am familiar with the MAC eyeshadow formula. It's just I hadn't used MAC eyeshadows in a while. I hadn't used any new, like I hadn't gotten any new launches in a while, and I just really loved this eyeshadow palette. I started off today's look with just this beige, really light kind of skin tone color. It's a very taupey color on me, but it's really perfect for that initial transition to kind of set that eye primer if that's what you like to do, and just start that transition in the crease. And then I went in with this color here, this warmer brown, and that's such a beautiful shade for a transition. I love it. It's dark enough that it shows up. I find that it's just such a beautiful tone of brown that it really goes with so many things. And because they have those two shades in here, I think it's really, it's such a versatile eyeshadow palette, because today I created a look that's pretty natural and pretty soft, and I really have been liking that lately, kind of keeping it more natural, especially with the summer months. But then it comes with those darker browns to really like smoke it up and kind of really darken it, which if you check out my review of the MAC launch, you can see another look I created with this palette, and it was so stunning. I loved all of the shades that I used. I really, really liked it. And I definitely went a lot smokier and darker with using these two shades. And then this one up here, it's a lot darker than it looks, because in the pan you see a lot of the shimmer, and when you swatch it even, it doesn't look that dark, but when you pat it on the eye with your finger, it really is such a stunning dark brown metallic. It's really, really pretty. The other two in here is another reason why I think this is such a user-friendly and versatile palette, is because it then has those brighter colors, a pink and a red, so you can really create so many different looks with this, and they all through and through are very pigmented and blendable. Now, one thing that I feel is a little bit controversial about this palette, some people are not impressed with this palette based off of these two right here, and those are the Dazzle shadows. This is a new formula by MAC, and that is that one that I just showed you. So swatching, it looks absolutely stunning, very blendable, pigmented. It has a beautiful shimmer that, even though it's there and it's very, you know, such a stunning shimmer, it's not in your face glitter everywhere. So this is going to be a formula that's good for those of you that maybe have more mature skin and some more wrinkles in your eyes. It's going to sit nicer on the eyes and look very smooth. That being said, maybe not for everybody, but it's definitely a more creamy metallic that isn't like bling super, super metallic. So I think it's going to be very versatile. The reason these are controversial is because a lot of reviews, I've heard people say they're not very pigmented. They don't show up very well. You have to wet your brush. So yes, when you go in with this shade, so I'm going to swatch this shadow with my finger. Beautiful, right? I'm then picking it up with the brush. Not as pigmented. It's skipping, it's pulling, it's patchy. Obviously not what you want when you're working with shadows. This being said, and I would recommend this about any palette, when it comes to metallics, yes, sometimes brushes are easier for people, sometimes brushes are easier for like in the inner corner, and you know, not everybody likes to use their fingers when they're doing their eyeshadow, but the majority of metallic eyeshadows, no matter what the formula, are going to be picked up and placed more pigmented and more intense when you use your finger. And I have, you know, learned that, and now I don't use anything but my finger for metallics, really. And typically, if I'm going to use a brush for metallics, it's for those inner corner, because yes, it is easier with a small, you know, more precise brush, but I typically wet it anyway. So I personally love these two shades. This one here is on my lid right now. It's so stunning. In different lights you see like pink and glitter. It's really, really pretty. But yeah, definitely recommend using your finger for those two. If you're having trouble with them, please use your finger. I bet you will, you know, get a lot more pigment out of them, and I think that it's going to be a lot more of an enjoyable palette for you. So that is definitely a favorite. Another favorite that I actually obviously didn't use today is an eyeshadow palette by Zoeva. I got it in a BoxyCharm box, and I had never tried Zoeva eyeshadows, but oh my goodness, they were so blendable, so pigmented, and it just like, they seriously blended like a dream. I was so happy with my eye look that day. And so if you want to see that look that I created, I'll link that video below. It's my BoxyCharm opening where I tried the products on. I was really, really impressed with that palette. The colors are a little bit more on the orange, really, really warm side, so it's not a palette I would use like every day, whereas this was a little bit more of an everyday palette, and that's why I chose to play around with that one today for this video. But that being said, oh my goodness, Zoeva eyeshadow from at least that palette, from the experience I had with that, amazing, absolutely stunning, creamy, blendable, pigmented, like great payoff, really, really nice. And good color selection as well. So moving on, after my eyes, I did my mascara, and a mascara that I know is not like brand new, but is on the newer side, is from Pat McGrath. And I do have it in a sample size, but I love the Fetish Eyes mascara. It is so lengthening. It's not like the absolute best for volume. That being said, it definitely gives your lashes enough volume, but the length is what I love about this mascara. It really lengthens the lashes. It's almost impossible, I mean, it's not impossible, but it's really hard to make them look clumpy because the formula is so thin and not really, really thick and easily clumped on the ends of your lashes, which is something I struggle with because my lashes, I don't know, my lashes get really like clumpy on the ends and then they look really stubby. So these just are, it just feathers the lashes out and they look just so stunning and curled and long, and it separates it nice. I really, really like that mascara. Moving on, we went to contour. So a palette that I've been really liking for many reasons. For a drugstore priced contour highlight palette, this is such a nice one from Makeup Revolution. It is the Sculpt and Glow Contour and Highlight Palette. I got it in Desert Sky. So this bronzer here is such a beautiful shade. I really like it. It is a little bit on the warmer side, but it really does the job really nicely. You could also use it as a bronzer if you like a more cool toned contour. I just found, especially for my skin tone, it was dark enough to contour with. And just for the price, it's such a nice little palette. I found it was really creamy to the touch, and while applying it blended really nicely, and it was pretty pigmented. So definitely was happy with that. But my favorite part of this palette is this highlight. Oh my goodness. This is such a stunning shade. It's like a peachy kind of pink tone, peachy champagne. But when you apply it with a brush especially, it just looks so beautiful. It makes you look just like you have that really nice healthy glow. It's a more natural highlight, but it looks so stunning. You can also wet it to make it a little bit more vibrant. It's really, really nice, and I really recommend this from Makeup Revolution. I also forgot to mention the Morphe Glamour Bronze. This is another one I really, really like, especially because it's a really easy one to use for the body. So because it's such a large pan, it's one of my favorite things about this. I love this shade, Mastermind. It is a lighter tone, so I definitely can't use it as a contour, but I use it, you know, across the forehead, maybe bring it up into the cheeks a little bit to add more color to my skin, bring it down my neck and on my shoulders and across my décolleté, and it just gives me a natural color to my skin. Because I'm so pale, it really just helps make me look a little bit more tanned, a little less washed out, and I love it because it's so fast. You can literally dip a big fluffy brush in and just like quickly apply. It blends like a dream. They have a great color selection, and I love this one. I love it almost as much as I love my Physicians Formula. If anything, I love it more only because of the size of the pan. Like, oh my goodness, this packaging is so perfect for applying to the body. And then the next product that I really liked, and this is not new from Natasha Denona, but this palette here, the Diamond and Blush palette, which is a blush and highlight palette. I really love this palette because of the blushes, especially. Their highlights are really, really nice too, don't get me wrong, but focusing on the blushes today, this cream blush is stunning. I love the color to it, and it also goes right over top of powder, which is hard to find with any cream products. It blends like a dream. It basically dries down to powder, and it's such a stunning color. And like, how easy is it to be able to just apply this beautiful creamy blush on top of your powder. Like, that's hard to find. So I really, really like this palette in general, but especially this shade here. And then I usually top it with a little bit of this because it has a bit of a sheen to it, but it's not overbearing, and it just adds a touch more color. And I actually really liked this palette almost even more than the Mini Bloom blush, only because I feel like this shade is so bright. You would have to have a really light hand with that. And if any of you don't like a really, really strong blush, you might not like this one. I personally liked it, but I just feel like this one was so stunning. The combo of these two, I love it. Next one that I really loved is also by Jaclyn Cosmetics, and it is the loose highlighter in Extra. Oh my goodness, like I applied this for the first time and was shook. It was super blingy, which you would expect nothing less from Jaclyn Hill, but it was so stunning. I love the shade. It looks very natural, finely milled. It doesn't look very like thick. It, you know, it blends in very softly into the skin. It doesn't look like really, you know, big sparkles on your face, and it definitely doesn't accentuate any texture, at least on me personally. So I really, really liked it. It just gives you that like blinging highlight that we all dream for, or at least I do. Loved that one as well. So then one of the last products that I loved this month, oh my goodness, this month, and I know I have a lot of favorites. I tried so many products this month, and I loved so many of them. It was such a good month this month for a product. How many times have I now said month? Stop it. The next product that I really, really liked was from the MAC collection as well, and it's this one I liked specifically for the color. It is the Selena Vive lipstick, the cream sheen lipstick. This color is like one of the nicest nude lipsticks I've tried in a long time. It's such a beautiful neutral pinky nude, and I just love it. I'm wearing it right now. It looks so nice. It is their forever loved cream sheen lipstick formula. It is really, really creamy, hydrating. It looks nice. It's not the longest wearing lipstick in the world. Don't think I'm saying, yeah, buy this and then it's gonna last you all day. It is not, but it's so beautiful. The shade is nice, and I do love MAC lipstick. So definite recommend there. And then the absolute last product that I love so much is the Becca Ignite Liquefied Light Highlighter. It is a face and body highlight. I have yet to try it on my face. I think I'm slightly scared to because I don't want to break out because it is a little bit greasy, but I'm definitely going to try it on my face because I think it's going to be stunning. Like, I applied it on my body today and it looks so nice. It's very, you know, blendable. It does feel a touch greasy at first, but then you let it dry and it dries down to just feeling really soft on the skin. It lasts pretty much all day. If anything, sometimes I wake up the next day and still see a little bit of a shine on my skin or a sparkle, and it looks so beautiful, especially in the sun. It's really nice. It definitely is more emphasized. So loving this one, and we'll definitely love it throughout this summer. So that was it for my faves. I had a lot more products that I could have added, but I feel like I need to kind of play around with them a little bit more before I can give you guys, you know, like before I were to add them to my favorites. I picked the ones that I picked because the times I've used them, they have always worked really well for me. So yeah, I definitely really happy about the products that I found this month. I actually had no flops, even though there were some in there, like the Fenty foundation that I did not love. I feel like I need to give them their fair shot before I can say to you guys, these are not good, don't go buy them. So yeah, that is it for today. I am all positive news today, no flops, and thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you are interested in winning some free makeup, I have a giveaway going on, so make sure you go and check out. Go to the link below. I've had a few people commenting on my weekly videos. If you want to enter my video, you have to go to the video that I announced the giveaway. It's just easier for me to keep track of who has entered. So make sure you comment on the video that I announced it. It will be linked below. And yeah, so thank you so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, give it a thumbs up, ring the bell, all the things, and have a wonderful day.